Happy Monday, February 16th. It is President's Day, so no school again today. Today, I'm going to ask you a very real question. Have you canceled your subscriptions yet? I think one of the things that I'd like to ask every person, and not just like all like 30 people who are going to be watching this video, but every person to do, if possible right now, to support not just Minneapolis and Minnesota, but all of the communities that have been and are about to be affected by the militarization of ICE, is to go through and critically review all of the subscription services that you are subscribed to. So, like, pause me for a second here if you are watching actively on a computer or phone and have access to the internet, and log into your bank website and take a look at your credit card or your checking account or whatever you charge your subscription services to, and look at your transaction history for the past month. Okay, I'm going to go through category by category and just talk about the things that I want you to look for and ask yourself. These are things that I have either considered or have paid money for subscription services in the past. We are living in a software as a service world, so it is very much the prerogative of the owners of capital to continue to get you to pay them money and give you nothing long-term in return. So let's talk about alternatives that we have with a lot of these categories to really make sure we understand how we can use their services and give them nothing. Okay, AI and GPT services is number one on the list. These are relatively new services. These could include ChatGPT or Claude or other companies of that nature. Now, if you are a general user, if you are using these as a chat bot, I would absolutely 100% take a walk, touch some grass, and ask yourself, is that something that is helping you? If you're paying money for a chat bot, just stop it. That is money that you should be spending on burritos or something else that is tangible and helping other people in your community. Okay, data storage. This is an easy one. This is one that I caught recently. Google One was the data storage I was paying. Unless you are very purposefully or intentionally paying a cloud computing company to store data for you, be very cautious about this. And OneDrive is the other big one that comes to mind, because Microsoft basically like funnels you into the OneDrive purchasing when you interact with any Windows machine these days. All right, video streaming is the next big one. So video streaming is going to include your Netflix, your Apple TV, anything else. I mean, these are companies that we know have a ton of money for the past 10 or 15 years. They've been incredibly popular. I mean, Netflix revolutionized the way that we consume commercial entertainment, at least for the vast majority of us. They still have original shows that I think people are interested in watching, but honestly, what I would recommend, if you do want to watch those shows, pool your resources with somebody else, whether it's a family member or a friend who's also into the same niche interest or shows or creators or actors. Get together and watch it together. Make it a social activity. I think it's a good time to reevaluate. Are you using media to escape into your own personal little hole? If you're continually watching, shows that are built to mass consume, or have you found a way to use it for get-togethers? My sisters watch The Bachelor, which I think is absolutely trash TV, and I think they know is absolutely trash TV, but they use it to get together and they enjoy the zeitgeist around it. There's like a big cultural phenomenon. Cable. Don't pay for cable. The one excuse I think that you could have for paying for cable right now is sports. I will defend your right to watch sports, but also go watch it at a sports bar. Our local establishments for getting together, I guess we'd call them third spaces in a lot of cases. Patronize them. Get to know your community. Talk with the people behind the bar and support them. But get together with other people who are watching sports. It's an interest that I don't have, right? But it is definitely an interest that a lot of people have, and I think any interest can be a unifying thing. All right, that's it for cable. Let's talk about music streaming. I wish there was a good option here. I've been looking into is there a music streaming service that fairly compensates artists? And I think the answer is just no. I don't think there is. That is the result I've come to in looking at a few different sources. I'm going to link an article that's not an article, video by Ben Jordan, who's definitely a musician / hacker activist worth following. He's put out a lot of really good videos. This one was from about a year ago, and it focuses on AI music and using those music streaming platforms to monetize AI putting out music, which is a little bit dystopian. But he does kind of go into a good comparison of streaming services from his personal experiences, having streamed a bunch of music through them. So worth taking a look at. I canceled Spotify some time ago. There were a lot of corporate decisions, and I think just the declining compensation for artists over time on that platform was enough to make me pull the plug. But I had probably subscribed to that for 7 or 8 years, starting in the early 2010s. Phone. What are you paying for phone service? Because if you're paying more than like $40 a month per line, you're probably paying too much. First of all, look into bundling. If you're working with a telecom and bundling your wireless phone with anything else, look at that critically and determine, are you really saving money or are you just buying more shit than you need? I am paying for a phone through Google Fi. It is, I mean, it's essentially low cost. It's maybe a gigabyte of 4 or 5G internet for free. And then anything past that's kind of a pay as you go with a cap. Um, yeah, looking at the my actual numbers, you generally are going to pay less if you're working on a plan where you don't have like unlimited internet or whatever, but you just have a small amount and then you control the way that you use it. Most of the time I'm at home. I'm doing Wi-Fi for 9 out of 10 things on my phone. And like recently, the only time I was doing um, more than like a gigabyte a month, it was because my Wi-Fi router had crapped out and I needed to do a hard reset. And I didn't realize it for a couple of days. And I was like streaming YouTube on the phone. This one I'm just going to name Amazon Prime. Just cancel it. It's time. Do you really need 2 day shipping? Are you buying so much shit? Do you need to buy? Should you be buying so much shit that you are actually saving money by paying Amazon, what, 100, 125? I don't even remember what it is. I think it was 75 back when I paid for it. But right now, just stop. Just stop giving them money. Go ahead and cancel it. I mean, Amazon is mostly AWS right now. So a lot of the sticking it to Amazon that we're trying to do here is through um, minimizing the use of services you don't need because most of those pay Amazon for cloud compute. Amazon Prime is very direct. It gives you a chance to very firmly say what you want there. All right, games. This one's pretty close and near and dear to my heart. First of all, are you paying any game subscriptions? I mean, in this economy, the biggest one here is Microsoft's Game Pass. I did subscribe to it for a while. I thought it was a very good deal, and for a long time, it was like 10 or 15 bucks a month. And it had a pretty good lineup of like new as well as like really standout quality indie games. So I thought their selection was pretty good. I thought they had a lot of not exclusives but games I could play on release, like Expedition 33 last year. But they did a big price hike last year. They kind of were like, okay, we've got the market. Let's go ahead and make it way more expensive for everybody. And I don't see that their selection is getting better. I think this one has definitely hit the venture cap, and then now they're just trying to milk you for money. All right, last and not least, and this is one that I've got some personal experience with, is food subscriptions. So I've been using a service called Tovala. I know a bunch of people who use HelloFresh. There are a bunch of other food subscriptions that you can pay that are going to like send you a box of food every week. And it's real easy, especially if you are in a lifestyle where you have to work, which is most of us. One where you are maybe not somebody who just has a gift for preparing food as a habit on a regular basis, and who finds themselves doing a lot of other food delivery or ordering out otherwise. They make a lot of sense to fit that lifestyle because it adds a tremendous amount of convenience. So I have found that in doing that, the biggest problem for me was the amount of like single-use plastics that I find myself going through with those food delivery services. But that was not enough of a push for me to say, no, I can't do this in the long term. But I think that is one that I'm resolving to do because I am kind of looking to make sure that my focuses are more on things that are less about just building capital and more about building community and more sustainable life practices for myself. I think some degree of food prep or just making sure that I'm doing things economically and can stick to some of my guns as far as like reducing single-use plastics in my life. It's the time and place for me. So consider for yourself. Are you using a food delivery service? It's a great time to critically think about whether it's something you want to keep using. So yeah, if you haven't, go ahead and pop open the bank website, take a look. Really look through every one of them and say, is this something I need to be spending money on? And if you don't, well, take that money and don't buy shit with it. Save it. Because frankly, I think we're going to need savings collectively in the near future. Take care.